the manager of employee relations and engagement with Children's Aid. So I do these trainings, and I also am often the person that people call when there are these types of issues going on that they need to discuss with someone.
I hate it here.
Their manager, and they're reaching out to HR, concern related to an unprofessional practice in the workplace, or disagreement that they're having with someone, or that they feel that there's concerns going on where they're being or they're seeing harassment or discrimination or retaliation in the workplace.
Oh my
So
God.
glad to be here and get to present to you guys. I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say at this point, we've all heard of like the Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter. You know, these have been in place, I think now these movements for like a number of years, but really these are, the issues that are underlying to those movements, they're not new. They've been around for probably, unfortunately longer than they should. And, really it's not a new thing, and there's always been a need to have like strong policies and training around
Brother, this
discrimination,
guy
harassment, and retaliation,
stinks.
and having a respectful workplace. Um,
She talk like she
because
don't
of
want to
that,
be
and also
here.
I think in some ways this is what's awesome about social movements sometimes is that they do end up having some real impact. For New
Man,
York State and New York City a number of years ago, the impact on some of those movements for our state and our city is that these trainings became mandatory. So,
shit.
so before
No.
where we would have felt
Damn it.
this is really important information for all of our staff to know and be aware of and contribute to the culture of respect in their workplace. Now we're required. So that's actually a really good thing because now universally everyone is getting trained on what is discrimination, what is harassment, what is retaliation, what does it mean to have
Oh my God.
a respectful workplace where you can come and feel
Somebody
that
save me.
you're treated equitably
Save me.
and not have to deal with any harassment, discrimination, or retaliation. And what do you do if
Yo,
you're
they gave me a
finding,
lot of chopped bacon.
if you're experiencing that in the workplace,
This is a
or
lot of
you're
chopped
seeing that
bacon.
happen to other people? Where do you go? What do you do? What are your rights, basically, as our employee, if that's happening? We don't want that to happen, but we can't control every circumstance either, and so we want to make sure that you all are equipped to know what to do.
I wish they'd give you a
So
fork.
training is one aspect of that culture of respect. Our policies is another aspect, and like I said, I put the link to our online policy related specifically to this content in the chat. Please feel free to copy that, and I will also send it to you guys after the fact as well.
Hold up.
And it aligns with our values. We have, in the I Create values, respect, equity, teamwork. So it's really ingrained in our organization. These are, tenets of our work and have in place in our work environment and our organization as a whole. So, um, in my opinion, I come from a social work background, even though I work in HR, and I have worked in camps and programs for many, many years. And so I think there's
I
actually
don't
a really
like
like a direct
those.
connect to
I want to keep white.
what we're going to be talking about in this training with also the work that you guys are doing day in, day out. You're working with many
Yo,
times
this is
like
a lot of chopped
young,
bacon.
impressionable youth, whether they're into their adolescence or even or not. They look up to you. You interact with them every day. You build relationships with
A
them,
black person had to
and
make my meal.
because of that, they're
This
looking to
delivery
you
is
for a
crazy.
model. You're their role models, and so how we treat each other in the workplace, whether it's now virtually or hopefully in person some or soon, they pay attention. They see what's going on, and so how we treat each other is directly connected to what we're trying to do in building and supporting them as young people
She
and
getting me
growing and
upset.
developing their interpersonal skills too, and knowing what's right and what's wrong and how they should or shouldn't be talking to people, even
I
though it's not
smell
their workplace, right? and use that in your work.
Oh
These
yeah.
training modules, as I said, they're presenting a lot of different concepts related to the workplace, related to laws and otherwise about harassment, discrimination, and retaliation, about fairness, about respect. The modules, the training modules, many of the circumstances that they're portraying, they may not look like our workplace, right? It's an office setting, but the concepts are the same, and so that's what I really want you to take away, even if some of the modules look different than what your typical workday looks like. Pay attention to those concepts. To be honest, some of the circumstances that they portray and that they present might be uncomfortable for people, so I just want you also, different people react in different ways, so I do want you to just pay attention to what your own reactions are and how your reactions might be perceived by others, even virtually. So questions, if they come up, if they're pressing questions, each module does have a breaking point. I'm not going to autoplay, so I will just manually cycle through them and add some tidbits where it's appropriate. But if you have a pressing question, please let me know at the end of a module, and I will try to check in and see, give some time to folks so that if you do have questions, you can chime in, or if there's something you really want to unpack
Can you
from
smack
one of the
somebody through the
videos
phone?
or some of the information that's being presented, that we can talk through it. There will definitely be some time at the end, and then also feel free to put questions in the chat as well. I've put my contact information in the chat as well. When
Well,
I follow up with you directly, you'll have
I
my
got her
contact
on one
information.
phone.
Please, if there's anything
Turn
that
my
you
game
want to
back on.
discuss after the fact, if there's a particular circumstance that you feel like needs to be reported after having this training, please let me know. Please follow up with me directly, and we can set up some time to talk. Okay? So I'm going to share my screen, and
Ooh,
we'll go through, start going through the
Blake.
modules. So please let me know if you have any
Blake.
questions as we're.
Blake.
Yeah.
She just sneezed on camera, Blake.
You said what?
She got she got that Rona. She just sneezed on camera.
Out of there.
I'm about to leave.
Out of
She talk
there.
like she don't want to be here.
Just want to do a quick sound. Congratulations. You've reached the end of the
Man, do I
course
want to do that or
presentation.
do I want to
If you
do
have any
red?
questions about. Sorry, I did this earlier this morning and I didn't cycle back to the beginning of it.
I want to see who want to play me today. Feeling.
You guys can
You
hear
talking to
okay?
me?
Awesome, thank you.
Nah, I'm gonna text in the chat. Nah, I'm gonna text him.
I never thought this would happen. I'm a guy. It doesn't happen to guys.
I just felt so violated by
What is this
this
training about? Bullying?
person that I thought
The
was,
hell?
at least a friend.
I feel like it's always a stigma about this kind of harassment in society. We always
Is this
think
about
that
childhood
we gotta
harassment? What
expect
is this about?
certain type of
Why he got so many
responses, but
tattoos on his face doing an
it
interview?
happens to all of us.
44% of American workers have experienced sexual. Oh, this is about sexual harassment. Oh man,
It was hard to
I hate these trainings, but
not
you
feel
gotta do it.
guilt,
It
or
could happen
shame
one day.
about any type of discrimination.
You gotta be
Just believe
prepared to
that
know what
those
to do.
memories of you're not good enough and you're not wanted. And that was really hard for me. I definitely didn't feel like I would be believed, mostly because that's what I had seen in the media. I never told much about that experience. Before I went to work, it was insane drag.
I felt that my job was jeopardized, that I felt powerless. I mean, those feelings, I didn't know that people who experienced sexual harassment felt them.
It doesn't matter hard you put your head down or try to assimilate into the culture if the culture is not supportive of you being a woman. There was a time when we all thought we knew what harassment was
Bro, and it
and it
really
probably didn't
sucks
happen very
because
often and it
I
wasn't the
know
case in
Fox
every
has like an
class that
80
you
plus
saw.
free throw,
But the cultural
but his free
tsunami over the
throw
past few years has
form is
awakened
just
us all to the
wild.
fact that harassment is much more insidious and pervasive than many of us ever realized. Harassment can come in
I don't
many
know why I can't
packages,
freaking get
sometimes
this to
wrapped in
work,
loud,
bro.
obnoxious, neon orange polka dot paper, but other times it's more subtle or camouflaged.
I'm about to
A
say, I got
simple
that
"how
nigga
you doing?"
crabbed.
smile,
That's a good
it could
shot.
be insensitive jokes or offensive pictures, text messages, or social media
I got one dude
posts.
crabbed and the
It
other
could
one
be
on the side of me.
mocking,
That's blinders.
threats, or intimidation. Harassment can come from a supervisor, a coworker, or someone outside your company altogether, like a client or a vendor.
I'm trying to
It
find that
does not
color.
have to be the person directly
There
harassed.
you go.
Anyone can be affected by the offensive conduct. But not all impolite or tasteless behavior rises to the level of
The
harassment.
best animation in
So
the game
how
is
do you
when you
know
could
when
get a
the line
rebound and
is?
think you about to go for a quick dunk and a nigga rip you.
Oh yeah, got him.
The New York State Human Rights Law, or
Dwight Howard just
NYSHR,
wormed
and the New York City
Andre
Human
Drummond.
Rights Law, including
Guess
the
what
New
comes
York
from the
City
side for the
Stop
steal?
Sexual
Cap
Harassment
him up.
Act, are the key laws that protect employees in New York from harassment in the workplace. Because of these laws, every employee, contractor, of a vendor, and consultant in the state is free from sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is considered a form of sex discrimination and is therefore illegal in New York
I be
workplaces.
hating these
Sexual harassment includes
type of
harassment on the basis
zooms.
of sex, sexual
Ugh.
orientation, self-identified or perceived sex, gender expression, gender identity, and the status of being transgender. It includes unwelcome conduct that is either of a sexual nature or that is directed at a person because of their sex in any of the following circumstances. The conduct has the purpose or effect of interfering with the person's work performance or of creating an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work environment, even if the employee is not the intended target of the sexual harassment. The conduct is made either explicitly or implicitly a term or condition of a person's employment
He just made a
situation,
47%
or rejection
contested,
of the
and I jumped
conduct
at it.
is used as the basis
There's
for
no way
employment
Larry
decisions
Nance
affecting
makes
a
that.
person's
There's no
employment.
way. There's no way.
Examples of behavior that may be considered
I don't care
unlawful
what his
sexual
three-pointer's
harassment
on.
are physical assaults of a sexual nature, which can be as extreme as rape, sexual battery, molestation, choking, patting, grabbing, or brushing against another employee's body. Unwanted sexual advances, propositions, or other sexual comments. These can include requests for sexual favors, along with threats concerning an
Good shot,
employee's
Fox.
performance evaluation, a promotion, or
Good
other
pass
job
from Ben
benefits,
Simmons.
or
That's
pressure for
special. That's
unwanted
special
sexual
delivery.
activities, and
That's
sexual
full general on
gestures,
gold right there for you.
noises, remarks, jokes, or comments about a person's sexuality experience that are severe or pervasive enough to
Matter of
create
fact,
a
let me get
hostile
Fox
work
hot real
environment.
quick so I can see
Sexual or discriminatory
what his stats
displays
go
or
to when he on
publications
fire.
anywhere in the workplace, such as pictures, posters, calendars, objects, promotional materials, reading material,
Oh yeah.
or graffiti,
Oh yeah,
or
Blake,
other
we about to
materials
see it.
that are sexually demeaning or pornographic, can also be considered sexual harassment. Sexual harassment can occur between persons of the same sex, as well as individuals of different
So when
sexes.
Fox gets
Under New
takeover,
York
his
state
driving
law,
dunk goes to an
employees no
89.
longer need to show that
His
harassment is
driving
severe
layup goes
or
to a
pervasive
94.
in order to be
His
unlawful.
three goes to an
Instead,
84.
complainants must only prove that they were subjected
What is
to
his speed?
inferior terms,
Yo,
conditions, or
Blake.
privileges of employment because of
Yo.
membership in a protected
When
class.
Fox
The
gets his
complainant
slashing
also
take,
does not
his
need to
ball handle
identify a
goes to a
comparable
98 and his
employee to
speed
show
with
that the
ball goes to a
complainant was
99.
subjected to inferior terms,
Sheesh.
conditions, or privileges of employment.
lateral quickness 91,
In New York are
speed.
also more limited
Where's
and
the speed? Let me
unfettered
see
law.
that.
In New York, employers may
Speed
only pay for
99,
liability if
acceleration
they can
99,
prove the
vertical
alleged
92.
harassment is no more than one
Yikes.
reasonable victim of discrimination with the same protected characteristics would consider petty slights or
It's already
trivial
hard enough to stay in front of
inconveniences.
him when he doesn't have
In New
take.
York, employees who have suffered harassment
Yeah.
may be entitled to a variety of remedies, including compensatory damages, punitive damages,
Him and
or
Ben Simmons
fines,
both get takeover
penalties,
at the
and
same time while they're
attorney's
both in the
fees.
same game. I doubt that'll happen
The state may also
just because of the
rule if it
rotations.
stopped the harassing activity,
But if that ever
or
was
the
to happen,
employer takes certain remedial
it's
actions,
gonna be a long
such
game,
as hiring,
baby.
reinstatement, or promotion, or provide other accommodations to the
Oh
affected
yeah,
employee, and require the employer to report
we
harmful
not
conduct.
dunking it. We shooting threes out here. I'm tired of people thinking we just rim run. We gonna shoot it. Mm-mm.
Questions so far?
People saying you can't rim, you can't shoot,
Cover
Fox.
a lot of the
They say you just rim run.
situations
So
that are in
we gonna
attorneys,
prove the
as a
doubters wrong.
whole applies across the board, like federally, it's used in like whatever state. They do include like specific information to New York State and New York City. That's
Man,
one
they
of
don't
the
have.
portions of the New York State specific information. But basically, if you look at things like as a funnel, at the very top, like the widest part is federal law, and then state law, and then actually New York City law usually has like even more, you know, um, supportive policies and laws for employees and their rights, basically under the law. Um, and then at the very bottom, before it goes all the way down, where it's the most restrictive in terms of like what people can get away with, so to say, is our policy, because a lot of what's going to be covered in the training deals with what's legally considered harassment, discrimination, or retaliation. What our policies deal with is really like what constitutes a professional environment, a professional work environment. So things like bullying, things like, we use sometimes like the big H versus the little h. When someone says, I feel like I'm being harassed, it may not be a big H where it's being harassed on the basis of a protected class, and they're going to go through all of those protected classes. But it may feel harassing, like annoying, or the style of someone's communication or actions towards you, or the professional demeanor of someone may not be what it needs to be. And those are also circumstances that we want to know about, that we want to try to help you navigate through, or address if need be. So if there's no questions, I'm just going to go on.
You and your team really did a great job putting this event together.
Thanks.
I mean, fantastic venue, great food.
Well, once the presentations are over, maybe I can finally relax and enjoy some of that for myself.
Have it?
No,
Oh my.
I get too nervous. Plus all the running around to make sure everything's running the way it's supposed to. It's like throwing a party. I never eat at my own party.
Oh, so nobody in that chat responded to me, Blake.
You should try it.
What happened?
I was just talking to Paolo, our favorite
I,
president.
I asked if everybody wanted to play a game later.
And I think we're gonna get that in.
Nobody wants to see them Sixers, I guess.
To have the decision.
I'll play you later for sure.
Next week. You got this. I know you do.
Nah, we ain't playing you.
I didn't tell you all evening how much I love that dress.
Nah, let's play. We can play.
I'm about to say, we not even any good, bro. We suck.
Nah, cause I like playing you when you got like more than 10 computer games and it makes the game more interesting.
Switch from being a man to being a woman.
Either
Alright,
that or
so.
when you have lost already. But I have to lose then to make it more interesting.
I know. I'm a woman.
But nah, we can play later though.
I always wanted to ask, how far have you taken this whole woman thing?
I really want to play Amar so I can beat him by 50.
That is really offensive.
People are curious. How does
So I was about
someone
to go in
decide
the
to
chat
put
earlier and be like,
themselves?
I'll let you play zone against me. See what happens to you.
What's wrong? Just Todd being a pain.
Bro,
So I
the
had this
colors, the
had this
color
like
scheme for
literally.
Miami is rough, bro.
He was, but not tonight. Okay, I've said it before, but I really
It's hard to keep all the colors the same, bro.
I just don't want to make the situation any worse.
Yeah, they got a lot of colors, too many.
Bro, too many.
And some of their colors don't even. It fits the Miami theme, but it's like,
I spent half my time trying to keep the colors right.
I mean, realistically, yes, you are curious if you don't understand, if you've never read, if you've never, did your own research on what is going on, but that's somebody's personal thing. That's somebody's whole personal thing. You don't know the reasons why behind it. It's just not something that you're supposed to ask, I feel like. So I think that
don't ask me that question. I wasn't watching the
that
video.
is grounds for contacting HR and things like that. Whether you're just curious or not, you just don't.
Reporting harassment can
Bro,
be a difficult step
that's
for
fucked
anyone
up.
to take.
Imagine being on a Zoom call and asking anybody else want to speak and nobody responds to you.
Silent.
Ever be considered a victim of someone else's harassment.
She was like, does anybody else want to add on?
That way, when you do
Crickets.
Alright,
experience
thank you.
sexual harassment from a previous job,
Yeah, I'm not here to
you
talk.
may
I'm
be
here to listen.
fired or transferred to another
And that's
position because
that.
they complained. They could
You're
also
supposed to be
expect
telling
you
me
to
stuff.
report an incident if the
This is a
harasser is
training
someone in a
class.
position of power,
I'm here to listen and I'm out of here
owner
at
of the company.
5:30. You got
If you
another
tell
hour.
me that the person who
Fuck.
harassed is someone who brings in a lot of sales revenue or plays racquetball with the boss on the weekends, they may be worried that their complaint won't be taken seriously or that they will become a target of retaliation for bringing a complaint against someone who's popular or the boss's friend. You never know what someone is thinking. Most workplace harassment prevention policies offer multiple pathways to report harassment.
Scott's done now? What are you talking
I
about?
feel like I've seen
I told you the
this
guy you just hired.
video here before.
You mean hiding? Yeah. Can you believe he hired someone like that? Like what? He seems perfectly nice to me. Nice? Are you kidding me? No. What's your problem with him? How can you even ask that? You said he seemed great.
Discriminating others.
Right. I told him
I
I
think I've
spoke to
seen
him.
this before.
He seems like a great guy. Sweet and friendly. Oh boy. You know, I know you. You're not that close. The guy's a fundamentalist Muslim terrorist. A terrorist?
He's not a terrorist.
Don't you understand how that's what they do? They act nice, get you to let down your guard, and boom. You're not even stereotyping the right thing. Seen the turban and everything, right? Yeah, I saw the turban. It means he's Sikh. What is Sikh? It's a religion. So,
Yes, let's make a
since
discriminating
it's a
video
Muslim,
with a
anybody
black
born in
woman,
this week, it okay to
a
call them a
white dude,
terrorist?
and
It's
talking about
really not okay.
Arabs being
Wait a
terrorists.
minute.
Good job.
Mark and Todd, they're on Suzanne's team. Guys, this is Turkey. Nice to meet you, Mark. Nice to meet you.
Wow.
Todd, I get off. I'm really sorry about Todd. Todd's great with new people. He's not so good with people, period. Seen it all before. Just the other look I get on airplanes. Yeah, but that doesn't make it okay
Oh
for
my
Americans.
God.
No, it doesn't.
On the video, or any of the other information that they're sharing.
Yeah, it's definitely too much bacon in this cheese. It's too much. They chopped it up way too much.
They're gonna touch on this a bit later too. But they start to introduce something that's called bystander intervention in this video as well. So when even before Hardeep joins them in the elevator, when Todd is making these, really bombastic statements, they're already calling him out on it. They're already saying like
I
that's
could
not
do
true
that.
and trying to
Or
let him know what's wrong about what he's saying. And then they also
If
like
Fred want to get
expect
P5, that Walmart ain't it.
to
They call that
um,
bot mark.
like kind of explain.
you said
It's
Bob
not that anything
Mark?
can be explained in a sense, but
Yep,
to
bot mark.
acknowledge
Because all the like
that
people who
like
got bots on
Todd has
websites, that's where they go.
saying, look, I'm reading your
His
words,
best bet is to try to get it out the queue.
was inappropriate. So um, they'll definitely talk about that a bit more, different strategies for bystander intervention,
People
but
loaded up at 3
there's
o'clock. It's
certainly
sold
some
out at
ways
3:01.
It doesn't matter if you're younger or older, male or female, religiously observant or devoutly atheist. People of all races, religions, nationalities, and backgrounds can be victims of harassment. Because certain people are more likely to suffer discrimination or harassment, they are recognized as
Okay, so
protected
this is about
classes,
sexual
and
harassment
federal
and
laws have been
discrimination.
enacted to
All right.
protect them. Under federal law, the protected classes are
So,
race, color, national origin, religion, disability, sex, pregnancy, age if 40 or over, and genetic information. The U.S. Supreme Court recently ruled that the class of sex under Title VII includes sexual orientation, gender identity, and transgender status. Harassment or discrimination of employees based on any of these characteristics is prohibited by law. The agency responsible for enforcing federal anti-discrimination and harassment law is the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or EEOC. New York State and New York City law protects workers from discrimination and harassment based on their membership in a protected class or because of their known association. Employers also may be liable to non-employees such as contractors, subcontractors, vendors, consultants, and their national origin or citizenship status, sexual orientation, military and veteran status, gender or sex including pregnancy, sexual and reproductive health decisions, disability, predisposing genetic characteristics, marital status or partnership status, caregiver status, domestic violence, sex offense or stalking victim status, religion, prior criminal conviction when the employer's use of the information is in violation of New York Corrections
I
Law
want to throw that pink in
352,
there.
prior criminal arrest, accusation, or
Pink go
prosecution that was
crazy.
terminated favorably
Huh?
for the individual, familial
That
status,
pink, the pink
gender
be going crazy
identity,
sometimes on
dysphoria,
uniforms.
expression or transgender
Yeah, I'm
status,
not feeling it right now. I don't like
occupation,
white, man.
unemployment status, salary
Yeah,
history,
it's like
and
if you're gonna wear white,
opposition
you
to
gotta have some
eligibility for
type of like
residency
designs
in
on your
New York
jersey,
State
just
Human
so
Rights
it won't
Act,
be
or
all
filing a
plain.
complaint, providing testimony, or assisting in any related proceeding. Making the determination of whether workplace conduct could be considered unlawful harassment can be difficult. It's
Ooh,
helpful to know
it's
the ins
cold.
and outs of how the law views such conduct. For
Hmm.
instance, the EEOC uses a framework that can provide some useful context for determining what is considered harassment under federal law.
Before we go on, I just want to say, you know, this training is really important so people have a baseline and a foundation of information. No one's asking you to like become experts and be able to make that determination, like what constitutes legal harassment, discrimination, or retaliation. What we want you to, really the takeaway that we want you to get is like, if something's happening to you, if you see something happening to somebody else that might have the appearance of it,
What kind of
or
training are you in,
or
dude?
be seen to be along those lines,
I think
let someone know.
sexual
Let a
harassment
manager know, or
and
you encourage that
discrimination.
person to speak up directly, or that you
Cause
get in contact with us in HR.
I work at an after school program with
Oh,
kids.
okay, gotcha.
Here are the
Oh
questions
man,
to
I hate
ask.
these jerseys,
Is the
bro. I
behavior
hate the white
unlawful?
ones.
The law isn't intended to prohibit all friendly banter or lively conversation at work. But everyone involved, including those who can overhear the conversation, must be okay with it. If anyone
Yeah.
finds the conversation unwelcome, well, now
Oh,
we're in
let's
a
finish
sticky
this game. Fourth
situation.
quarter, we're up
Keep in mind that
10,
employees do not
12,
actually
13.
say that a
Can't count right now.
conversation or other conduct
Yo,
makes them
nobody's
uncomfortable.
boxing out.
If they don't solicit or
I know
Good.
why.
highlight the questionable behavior,
This
then
nigga Ben
according to the
Simmons got screened, so he
EEOC,
switched to the
could
nigga
be
that was
unlawful.
screening him. And now he's on the
Next
three, just
question.
standing there.
Is the behavior
Drumming's wide open,
related to
getting
a
rebounds on our
protected
whole team.
class or status? Not all unwelcome conduct is harassment.
Hey man, if you want
Of
to beat me,
course,
just out
we
rebound me.
strive for all professional
It's
and
easier
Yo, I
said than done.
swear,
in order to be considered
I
unlawful
swear, I have
practices,
to play a user game. I want to
consequences
see how many
related to
rebounds I get.
protected status, such as race,
Cause on paper, we're not
or
supposed to beat
disability,
anybody because we have no big
front of the
starting,
question. Is the behavior
except Ben Simmons.
severe
But he's
or
not a big though.
pervasive? One involving
I'm about to
severe,
put the pink on the
serious
unis.
conduct, such as physical assault, could certainly qualify as unlawful harassment.
I'm gonna just
In
do
many
gray.
On
cases,
paper,
harassment takes a less
on paper, we
obvious
should be
form,
getting out rebounded
building
by
and
20
building over
plus every
time
game.
until it creates an intimidating, offensive, or hostile work environment for the victim. If multiple instances of
So what
unwanted
happens if we
behavior
don't get out
ultimately
rebounded?
affect the conditions of someone's employment, the
I would
behavior may
assume
be
that would mean
considered
that you would
illegal.
win.
According to the EEOC,
Nah,
the severity
not
of the
exactly.
behavior
Cause
or
then
the
we gotta come
effect
down
the
and hit
abusive
shots.
conduct has on the victim
Now, if we
should
don't
be
come down and hit
evaluated
shots, or we don't
to be
rebound,
objectively
then we're gonna
a
lose.
reasonable person. That is,
Hmm.
if the behavior would not substantially affect the work
That'd
environment
be
of the
that'd be
reasonable
my game
person,
plan for when I play.
it
If
would
we don't
not
make
likely be
shots,
considered
we're gonna
unlawful
lose.
harassment.
Get your can this morning? I told you to knock off the jokes that aren't meaningful. Come on, don't be such an old fuddy duddy. I'm
Fuddy
not gonna
duddy.
have this
Never heard
conversation
that
all
joke
weekend.
before.
The next one I have will be with HR. Not really what I want to do, but you're leaving me no choice. This is really not my morning.
Oh, what the? Yo, he took a picture of her booty? Oh, this is a training.
Looks like he did. It's great, right? Look at it. Oh, come on. Hiding it? Yep. This is so great. Wow, you really did it. It's so cool.
It's
I
awful.
was just fucking.
Jordan, how could you do something like that?
Well, it's funny.
It's not funny. It's just... You should take it down.
I don't think so.
This
This got
video's lagging.
85 likes, 13 reposts. You can't argue with those numbers.
85 likes, 13
You are
reposts.
all horrible people. What did I do? Horrible. What I miss?
This is a new low, even for you.
You were always giving me a hard time.
Me? I'm not the one making AIDS jokes all the time. I haven't done anything to you.
Why don't you stop taking yourself so seriously?
Can I
Hmm.
borrow this for a few minutes? I'll bring it right back.
I hate this unit.
You did. Oh, you in the game already?
Nah, I'm just trying to make this jersey.
Hey, man, I really,
Oh, you said uni. Oh, I thought you said unit.
dude, you too.
Yeah, look what you done. Taking pictures of booty. Now you got no friends. Sucks to be
Look,
you, don't it?
Might be a little bit right. Yeah, she did the right thing. I mean, I'm glad that they bring in more. You know, the big push to have streaming be more universal and like across the board was really like regarding like sex harassment and the Me Too movement. But I feel like there's so many other aspects of like how we interact with each other and so many other protected classes. I'm glad that they bring in a lot of other aspects of you know he was making comments to her about her age and um,
Why do
you know
why do
there's
people
been
gotta be the
previously
oddballs on Zooms?
trainings
Like
where
you're the
he
only two
kind of
people with your cameras on.
asked the
Everybody else got their
questions to
cameras off.
somebody like physical appearance, even when it doesn't have to do with
It's like,
their
yes,
sex
I
or
wanna be the one
gender.
who's
Um,
I know they know I'm listening
you
and
know, and
focused.
they make comments about that. Is that considered legally
Bro,
harassing behavior?
bro, like,
Um,
there's literally no
that's
way to
I
stop
just
the
sort of
AI from
like
pushing through
where
your
like
defense and
you know
throwing up a dumbass
say
shot
something
at the
and you
rim
know
and it
it's
going in.
a joke, you
Like,
still
bro,
can't
I can't even do that with my own
understand
player.
someone's response, right? It can only be funny if you're
Like,
trying to get a laugh. But when it's at someone else's expense,
I was like, you're
even if it's
pushing through me,
criteria for legal
the other
harassment
dude,
or
and then my center
discriminatory or
to throw up
retaliatory
a
behavior, it's still
moving jump
problematic.
shot in the paint.
Good for her colleague for speaking up too, right? And sharing that information with her. But
Her name is Ellen Canby. Hi, Ellen. Oh, it's ugly.
Offhand comment may not set off the alarm bells, but if the jokes and comments happen repeatedly, eventually they could create an environment in which the victim can no longer do their job. Again, this is C's approach. State law may be a bit different, so you'll want to be sure you understand how things work under your state standards too. Okay, now that we've covered that, next you'll have the chance to practice what you've learned so far. When you've finished, we'll resume the training. Which three characteristics are protected from workplace discrimination and harassment under the federal and New York law covered in this course?
um, the question, if I open up the
Oh, she wants to
journal, it
answer
says
questions. I'm about to fake like I got kicked out this shit.
You can still see. I haven't looked in the chat to see if I'm missing any questions in the chat.
Crickets.
Right, I'll move on.
Have you double-checked the delivery dates with the team?
They're absolutely 100% on the mark.
How much of a safety net do we have?
2 weeks.
Can we get any more time?
Not if we want to land this deal. They're telling me their drop dead date is the following Monday.
Well, then we better make it.
You know we will.
Great job on this project. I mean, you have really come into your own on this proposal. In fact, I got you a little I hope that's not all you are.
Okay.
Whoa.
See, I was thinking of something a bit more personal. You, Lee, little fun outside the office.
He said he's getting sexually harassed by a female. Gay. He's gay. Man, stop. That's still fucked up.
Will be working directly under my supervision. He's pretty much leaving the
Imagine getting sexually harassed by an ugly person.
I
You're gonna be traumatized for
You know
life.
exactly what I didn't think you were such a prude.
I'm not. I just wasn't expecting this.
Called him a
So
prude?
surprising.
What is
It's
a
a win-win
prude?
for both of us.
It's one of them white terms.
So, to be clear, if I agreed to date you, you'll recommend me for the promotion?
What is so hard to understand?
Okay.
Man, I'm taking that.
You've definitely given me a lot to think about.
What?
Okay, well,
Gives me promotion if we
take too
date?
long to make up your
I'll
mind.
take that. I want promotion. We living in 2021.
I ain't gonna lie.
Have you double-checked the delivery dates with the team?
Sorry about that. Yeah, so this really like kind of tease us off for the discussion, like moving into specifically sex harassment and the different types. So she's his boss, I guess, or technically, if not directly, then indirectly his boss, it seems like. They're going to talk about the two different types of sex harassment. One of them they are portraying here, which is called quid pro quo. And it's really like in a circumstance where there's the power dynamic as well as the unwelcome advances or actions. We'll move into just getting to learn a little bit more about that.
Sexual harassment is but one type of workplace harassment, and you may be surprised to learn it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with sexual desire. Of course, harassment of an overt sexual nature is included in this category, but so is harassment based on a person's gender as well as pregnancy and related conditions. Sexual harassment can occur between people of the opposite sex or same sex,
Ooh.
regardless of each person's sexual orientation. Both men and women can be victims and perpetrators. Sexual harassment comes in two forms. It can also occur if the manager threatens job-related consequences, if the request isn't met, like being fired, demoted, or transferred to a less desirable work assignment. The key to quid pro quo sexual harassment is that the victim will experience a tangible employment action. That is, suffer a significant negative result or be denied a significant positive benefit from refusing to go along with the manager's requests. The second form of sexual harassment is hostile work environment. This form of sexual harassment is similar to the hostile work environment type of harassment that can occur with the other protected classes. Specifically, it's unwelcome conduct based on a person's sex that unreasonably interferes with the victim's work performance. Sexual desire is
35
not
more minutes,
necessary
Blake.
for hostile environment
35
sexual
more
harassment to
minutes.
occur,
I'm out of
but
here.
it's a common scenario.
This meeting is over.
Examples of behavior that can lead to a hostile environment include unwanted sexual advances, sexual
Like,
comments or
when am I
jokes,
supposed to
sexual
release Fox's
gestures,
free throw at the
sexually
free throw line?
suggestive objects,
Like, he has a
pictures,
whole bounce to
cartoons, or
his free throw.
posters, derogatory names, and unwanted touching. These behaviors don't have to happen face-to-face either. Harassment can occur over email, on social media, or by text message.
Drummond missed a wide open alley.
Finally, hostile environment harassment can occur for employees who are
Oh, you
not
thought you was
the intended
closing out on that?
subject of the behavior.
That's Steph Curry.
For example,
And and
employees do
Steph
not
be
have to be the
closing my
target of
games
sexually
too,
explicit
Blake?
jokes and
As the
comments
sixth
to
man?
suffer an
Oh
impact
Got
from
him.
an
my
environment in
god.
which they are forced to overhear jokes and comments day
I
after
think
day.
I think Doc's been making the closing lineup. Ben Simmons, Bogdanovich, Fox, Steph, and
Under New
Siakam.
York law, a hostile work environment can be created by
Mm.
unwelcome words, signs, jokes, or graffiti of a sexual
I like
nature,
that
or by
ending five.
gestures,
Sometimes you
touching,
could take
or uttering
Bogdanovich out and throw
dates,
Green in
or
there.
intimidation of a
Sometimes
sexual
though,
nature,
not all the
or
time.
that is directed at an individual because of their sex. A hostile
Oh,
environment can
he
also
got
result in
takeover. Oh yeah,
sexually
let's run
discriminatory
this quick
remarks
fist.
that are offensive or
Cause I
objectionable to
messed
the
up the play
recipient,
last time,
cause
and
discomfort
he was wide
or
open.
humiliation, or interfere with the target's ability to do their job. Note that anyone in the workplace, even those who are not the direct target of the conduct but who overhear
Oh,
it, can
I
experience
tried
a
to activate
hostile
his takeover, and
environment.
he didn't activate it, and I had to shoot it. So big decks.
Okay, so we're all clear on how we're putting the meeting together.
I've got my part all ready to go.
Me too. Okay, I guess that just leaves us then.
I just have to get those numbers from Naomi
Oh
about
my
your
God,
part all set. So I should be able to have it to you before the end of the day.
I
if
guess that
Curry
just
don't
leaves
win
me then.
6 Man of the year, I don't know what to do no more.
Hazel.
Sorry. I have to deal with this real quick. I'll be right back.
I just wanna. Yo,
Yeah,
Blake.
she keeps saying no, but it's only a matter
What
of
happened?
time before
DeAndre
she just
Jordan
pulls
just
my
put
charms.
Curry in a contact
Charms.
put back dunk.
Yes, charms. When you doubt my
You
ability to
said what
impress
happened?
a woman, you need charms.
DeAndre, I
Well, I
said
have
DeAndre,
charms. Many, many
Andre
charms.
Drummond just put
Whichever one
Curry in a
resonates.
putback dunk contact
If you say
animation,
so.
Ooh.
Maybe she's just not interested.
In this?
and he got a foul
Most
and
women
one.
wouldn't be interested.
Well, if he
Only
make the free
this.
throw.
Nope. The right motivation, she'll see what I have to offer, and soon she'll
Nope,
be
just got the
following me.
foul. No and one.
If you say so.
Enough already. I can't take this anymore. You both have crossed the line too many times. You're talking about Ashley like she's an object, not a person. It's completely inappropriate for the office.
I'll lighten up. We're just having a little fun. If you don't like it, you don't have to listen.
Okay, I've had it. You can finish this meeting without me.
Jessica, I mean, come on.
Funny, this is twice part of the weekend. That's a good example of you don't have to be the recipient. You don't have to be the butt of the joke, so to say, for you to take offense to the comments or the actions by somebody else. So just keep that in mind as you're working with each other. Might be saying something, or someone might be saying something about somebody else, but if you're in the earshot of other people, even not those people necessarily that might take offense, they might not give you what Jessica was her name. They might not give you even what Jessica did, which was to let them know she was offended by like their banter about Ashley. Um, they might just take it and say, "I was offended by that," and have to be careful. We all have to be in tune also, like what how we're experiencing each other as well. Does anyone have any questions, or did anyone want to comment on the last video?
Crickets.
In order to maintain a workplace that's free from harassment, employees need to feel confident that they can report harassment without suffering any negative consequences for doing so. Retaliation is the term that's used to describe any action that is taken against an employee as improper punishment for engaging in certain activities that are protected under anti-discrimination law. Protected activities include making a harassment or discrimination complaint or charge, practices that are reasonably believed to discriminate against someone, cooperating in a harassment investigation, and testifying or participating in a hearing or lawsuit concerning an allegation of discrimination or harassment. Basically, any action that is intended to prevent, stop, or rectify illegal discriminatory conduct. Retaliation can take many forms, including disciplining, reassignment or transfer, and firing the employee. Also reducing pay or hours, delivering reprimands, or engaging in verbal abuse. Even excluding an employee from meetings or from training opportunities, or withholding desirable job assignments can be forms of retaliation. The damaging effects of retaliation are so
The prices are
serious
way up.
that it's considered its own form of illegal discrimination,
I've been in this
on
game for more
par
than an
with
hour.
any of the discriminatory and harassing conduct we've
Finally ended.
discussed.
This is
These
why you can't
niggas.
play games that allow you to pause.
In New York, retaliation against an employee who has complained of sexual harassment is illegal. Retaliation is an adverse action taken against an employee by the
Everything in New
employer
York is illegal.
because the employee opposed discriminatory or harassing practices, or because the employee filed a complaint, testified, or
Dang, where
assisted
is
in a
everybody?
proceeding based on a complaint for discrimination
Oh,
or
it's only
harassment.
it's only
A
5 o'clock.
retaliatory action
Yeah, it's
doesn't
still too early.
necessarily have to be job-related or occur in the
Delivery
workplace.
fee.
It can be any action of significance that
And
would
niggas like to
dissuade
get
a
on
reasonable worker
when the
from
moon come
making
out.
or supporting a charge of
I
harassment.
have Draft Pass.
The law must not protect people making intentionally false charges of harassment. But if the person has a good faith belief that harassment is occurring, even if the behavior ultimately is not considered a violation of the law or of the employer's policies,
Stop.
they are still protected from retaliation.
Bro,
Negative action is
chill.
not retaliatory simply because it occurs after someone engages in protected activity to all job requirements. But employers must not take negative actions against an employee to punish them for
Alright.
engaging in protected activity.
Box score. Wow. Andre Drummond had
Any more
20 and
questions on
18.
retaliation?
Blake, do you know what that's gonna sum out to?
I think
40
in
and
these
30,
cases, only form
probably.
of
Or 40 and
discrimination.
20
There
something.
are
It's tough.
lots and lots of cases that can, go into the court of law where there may have been claims of both harassment and retaliation or discrimination and retaliation. And a lot of the times there might not be enough to substitute the discrimination or the harassment piece, but then there is enough even without either of those, the harassment or discrimination, the allegation itself not being supported, there's still sometimes enough to prove that someone was retaliated against for raising a concern or for participating in an investigation into a concern. So really, that's why also there's a separate training for managers, because it's really important that managers know, like, when someone raises a concern, what can and cannot happen, that could lead to, like, an retaliation case. New York's definition of retaliation is, like, a little bit more stringent than the federal definition, in that it's that, what would reasonably
What you want,
dissuade
man?
someone from
Leave me alone.
raising a concern of harassment or
Leave me
retaliation. You
alone.
can do that in advance if it's
Hey, Blake.
Yo.
if the action, the retaliatory
Andre
action
Drummond
itself,
simmed out to 32 and
known
28.
would have prevented someone from
Damn.
raising that concern, then it's considered retaliation. So that's the standard that
Curry
New
had
York.
39 points, 5 assists, 2 steals. Fox had 36 and 11. Ben Simmons
You
had
said Curry had
32 and
how many
4.
points?
39.
Yo.
39 off the bench.
Looks really good.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's making me hungry now.
Fox had 36 and 11.
Person.
Salad. Oh,
Mm.
that's more than I have.
5 and 9 from the three-point
Plans this
line.
weekend?
That's the key that you take away from that from Fox.
How about you?
5 of 9 from the three.
From the three? Okay.
When you act like you're not in for me, but we both know better.
Curry went 13 to 27.
We need to get this ready for the meeting.
Damn.
That nigga out there chucking that hoe.
Oh, are you serious? Don't you want this?
I want to check and see how many shots Ben Simmons missed on the season.
One of the most important ways that members of a community, be it a social or work environment,
Where do I go
reinforce
check
the
that at?
standards of conduct expected of other members is by calling out those who violate the norms of the community.
Siakam had 15
By
rebounds.
speaking
Dwight
out
Howard had
against violations
14.
of community standards, members can send two important messages. First, that the behavior is inappropriate and the violator
Yeah,
should
I'm gonna
stop.
definitely try
And
try to
second,
line up
the
Fox on the
community
bench.
stands behind the victim.
I'm gonna keep the
In this
minutes the
way,
same though.
speaking up can have a very powerful effect in
Just move him
harassment
to the starting
situations.
lineup.
Not only does the harasser get called out for their
Okay, I see
inappropriate
Brooklyn playing their
behavior, but
games.
their
Nets
victim
is too
peers
much for the
don't have
Knicks.
to tolerate the offensive conduct. Put
Okay,
yourself in the bystander's shoes for a moment.
Nets is
What would
3.
it feel
The
like to
Nets is
see
3.
one of
Who
your
the Nets lose
colleagues
to?
being
Hold
mistreated by
on.
another? What would you do?
Who'd he lose to?
Let's talk about the ways that you,
It's
as a
tough.
bystander, can intervene. First is the direct approach, where you say something brief and to the point like, hey, that's offensive. Leave them alone. That's not an appropriate thing to say at the office. Or
Oh, he lost
anything
to the
else that
Grizzlies.
makes the
That's
point that the
tough.
harasser's conduct is out of line.
How he lose to the